This is another video on the basic Azure architecture. In this video, we are going to discuss the how to create the Azure resource group in the Azure portal. Creating the Azure resource group is not a big deal, but I want to make sure that we are not doing the hello world kind of a project here. We are actually creating the complete architecture, going in a sequence one by one. So in case if you have missed any of my previous videos, it is always recommended because I'm going in a sequence so that you will be able to understand what we are exactly doing in creating the resource group here. So creating the resource group is something you can do it through the portal, or you can do it through the RM template, PowerShell script, Terraforms. So different approaches. So I'm going to discuss in this video all different approaches where you can create the Azure resource groups. So prior to this, I'm assuming you already have the Azure subscription, Azure account, and also installed the PowerShell scripts and Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio. So those are the kind of things I discussed in my first video. What are the development tools required? Also, in case if you have missed any of my previous videos, you can always log into the website. There is no login required, so you can go into this iCodeForYou.com website, and if you want to see my .NET Core series, you can click on here. Now we are focusing on the basic Azure architecture. I'm going to keep all the details in this portal up to date. So in case if I missed anything in the video, you might be able to find that sequence in the portal itself. So in order to start creating the resource group, so this is the agenda for this video. We are going to actually not going to create the subscription, but I will explain because that is the first step you need before start creating the Azure resource group. And then create the resource group using the portal as per the naming conventions we are following from our Excel sheet. And then the next step, I'm going to take you to the creating the RM templates in the Visual Studio Code. So that's the infrastructure as a code. That's the right way to actually deploy the resources, instead of doing through the portal. So I will be discussing some of those RM template related concepts, and also discuss how to deploy the same resource using the Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio 2022 or Visual Studio Code, these are the two different development tools you can use. So Visual Studio Code is lightweight and faster as compared to the Visual Studio. So that's the recommended way to start coding for creating the Azure resources. Maybe I think locking the Azure resources can be discussed in the next video, because I have to discuss that in more details. So this is the agenda for let's start looking at the portal. So let me log into the portal. So this is my Azure portal. I already have the login Azure portal account. So in case if you are new to the Azure, planning to create the new Azure subscription, so you will be able to find that in my portal, create a new account setup. So you can look at that video to understand how to create the new Azure portal. So here, if you look at, you can click on the all resources or click on the home page. In order to create the new resource group, either you can click on the resource groups and say create. Once you click on create, it will ask you to select the subscription. So as discussed earlier, as per the naming conventions, just imagine that I cannot practically create all these subscriptions because it costs and I need to, manage those subscriptions. So I'm using one subscription. Just imagine in your organization when you're working on mid-sized companies, so they will be having separate subscriptions already created. The super user will be already creating the subscription. So as I recommend, you should always have a separate subscription for each environment, and these are the naming conventions you can follow. Now I'm going to create this resource group. So this resource group, you can make sure that, as I mentioned, you need to plan all your resources properly in an Excel sheet before you creating the resources. So before you actually jump into the code, you have to have the proper technical detail document. So here, this is the naming convention I will be following for creating the development environment resource group. Now I'm going to create this in the North Central US. That is what I decided to do. Now the next step is going to add the tags. As discussed earlier, the tagging is also important for the billing purpose. So the tags I'm going to add here is the application name, and here is my application. Also need the approver. So approver, I have already filled the details in my Excel sheet. So these are the details I'm going to use. I also need the business center. So a business unit, that's the corp is my business unit. I also need the cost center. Cost center represents for each project, you might have unique number so that you can generate the billing based on the cost center also. So this DR setup, whether, so I'm following this Excel sheet, which we already discussed earlier as part of the naming conventions. So whether it is a mission critical, critical, or the essential. So my application is not actually the mission critical. So I will enter the essential, and then environment. So this is going to be for dev. I will use the dev as my environment, and owner. So apply the, add the owner. I'm going to use this email ID as the owner, and what else is required. So yeah, at the minimum, these are the required taggings. You can use tagging, and you can create those tags. So final steps before you actually create, review, make sure that everything is correct, and press create. So this is my subscription, this is my resource group, North Central, and these are my tags. So I'm fine with the validation, and I'm going to now create the resource group. Creating the resource group from the Azure portal is pretty straightforward, which is now we are going to discuss what are the some of the properties in the Azure resource group before jumping into the next topic. So you see, once you create the resource group, you see all these left with the properties in the left nav. In the overview page, you will be able to see what the subscription and the location. So I've not done the deployments through the pipeline, so those details will be displayed here. So you can see the location, and you can, if you want to add more tags, if you miss any of the tabs, you can click on the edit button to add more tags. So you will be able to see the activities of the survey activities of this particular resource group in a JSON format. If you want to know what is happening with this resource group, who are all updated, deleted, added, things like that can be seen on the activity group. Next one is the access control IAM. So this IAM is going to be used for the RBAC purpose. So we will be discussing more in details during the RBAC, but by default, you can see how you can add the, assign the permissions for this particular resource group level. So those things can be done in the access control. So you can see what tags have been added. And if you have more resources, you will be able to see those resources in a visual format. And so some of these properties you will see common for most of the services. So we are going to discuss these ongoing basis. For now, let's jump into the next topic, which is creating the subscription. I think the creating subscription, I forgot, before creating the resource group, create the subscription. In order to create the subscription, you can click on the subscriptions. I always right click and open in the new tab so that I can close this and come back to, instead of overriding the current page. So if you want to create a new subscription, so let's say I already have the development subscription, I would like to create another subscription for the test and another subscription for the production. So very first time when you're actually creating the account, by default, you will be getting a subscription. So you can make sure that give the proper name. So for example, I cannot use the free trial since I already used. So pay as you go subscription, if you want to buy it for the test, this is how you are going to by. So you click on sign in, and then it will ask you enter the card details, your personal details, and then you can give the appropriate name as per the naming conventions. We discussed about the naming conventions. So for a test, you may want to say corp-test 001. Prod, you want to say corp-prod 001. So those are the naming conventions you can follow for creating the new subscriptions. So back to these slides. So we know how to create the portal. Now let's take a look at what is the proper way to do the proper way to create the resource groups. So whatever we have done, that is just for the demo purpose. You're not going to use the Azure portal for creating any of the resources in the real scenario. You are actually going to follow the proper CI/CD pipeline. So it should be infrastructure as a code. It should be code driven so that you can control source. You can keep that in the source control system for tracking what changes have been done, who have modified those changes. So all those details will be tracked through the source code. So that's the right way to do. Let's start creating the Git repo. So I already have a project called icodeforyou.com where I already created a couple of repositories. If I go to projects, click on the repositories. And then if you want to create the new repository, click on create, select the Git repository type Git, and then you can say RM templates. If you want to give the prefix, the project name, and then create the repository. So I've already created a repository called RM template. So let me go into the RM templates. So once you get the repository created, I've already done a few steps to save some time. So once you create the Git repo in the Azure DevOps, the next step is to clone that repo. So in order to clone the repo, you can use the Git command, git clone, and the URL B for branch from main branch. And if you have some spaces to avoid those issues, you can keep those things, the path in the double quotes, and you can say clone this. There are different ways to clone from the Azure DevOps, but this is how I do. Git cmd open and then run this. So once the code is cloned, you should be able to open the code in the Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. So after the cloning, you will have the empty files. Let's assume that this is empty. So what you have to do is you have to use the Visual Studio or the Visual Studio Code for creating the blank resource group template. So what I'm going to do is create a new project, and the new project is going to be Azure resource group project, which is C# type. So this template creates the Azure resource deployment project. So click on create and then give the appropriate name here. In my case, I have given the RM templates. So once you say create, so initially I've selected the blank template just to avoid all the confusion, so that you will be adding the blank files. What you have with the blank template is the basic template with Azure deployment deploy.json and Azure deploy.params.json. So these are the two files along with the deployment file, which is the deploy Azure resource group PS1. I will talk about this. Now, this template will have empty information. There is nothing, but what we are going to do is we want to create the resource group using this particular project. So the next step here, once you create this blank template, so you can create a separate folder for each deployment. So I will say resource group. I will move these files into empty files into the resource group under the resource group. So I'm going to create the project like this. I've already created this project, but I'm just going in a proper way. As I mentioned, this project, I'm trying to make it exactly same as your real life project. So you will create a folder and move those empty files into those folders and make sure that the file type is going to be content. When you create for the first time, I think these file contents are not the content. So let me quickly show you what the file type here. So if you see this is none, that will not work. So make sure that the file type build action is the content type to make sure that it works as expected. So as I mentioned, I create a folder called resource groups here and also add these empty files and make sure that you build the project. So ignore these files I'm going to talk about in the subsequent videos. So once you build this, once you go to the folder explorer in the bin folder, you should be able to see OB staging folder with the RM templates and the resource group and these two files. So make sure that you validate this staging folder to make this project work as expected. So I've already built it, and the next step is to validate it. So validating actually connecting to the Azure portal and making sure that those resources are validated as expected. So if you are doing for the first time, you might face some issues. This one I'm going to talk about those in a minute. So you will select the resource group you want to create, or if you want to create a new resource group, let's say I'll create a new resource group. Let's name that as with a different name. So I already created the dev. Let's say I create it for test. So I will call this as a test. This is again going to be North Central US, and I will say create. And then you can select the deploy file. This is the template file and this is the parameter file. So once you select that, this is the resource group I'm trying to create. So it's going to validate the templates or validate these files before deployed to the portal. So if you go and look at the resource group, so you will not be okay. So this is already created as part of the validation. So because of the resource group that is already created. But even if you say deploy, that's a second action. You can select the test, and then by default it will select the RM templates and then say deploy. So this is going to first validate, and in the second step, it is going to deploy in the incremental fashion. So the way this is working, this is successfully deployed. The way it is going to work is because of this deploy hyphen Azure resource group PowerShell script. This is added as part of this project template, and this is going to run your templates and parameter files and deploy the resource in the Azure as per the template and the parameter files. So I would like to cover few things. Make sure that when you are creating the Azure Resource Group project from the Visual Studio 2020 or Visual Studio 19 or Visual Studio 17, including the latest Visual Studio, the deploy Azure Resource Group file is not up to date. So this is still using the Azure RM syntax. If you look at the Azure RM syntax, but this is all outdated. So now Microsoft migrated the Azure PowerShell from the Azure RM to Azure AZ commands. Now everything is AZ. If you see Azure RM prefix commands, though, that means those are legacy commands. Those commands will not work. I would expect Microsoft to fix this deploy Azure resource group file as part of the template. I'm really surprised even Visual Studio 2020, they have not updated it. So as I mentioned, this script will not work by default in case if you are trying to deploy using the latest Azure PowerShell file. So I had to follow this article for updating the existing the deploy Azure resource group PowerShell file, replacing the Azure RM with AM. So he pointed few useful links here, so you can click on this, and he explained what are the old syntax and the new syntax, and also has some PowerShell script here. So I have copied this new PowerShell script and pasted here to make it work. So yeah, that's the one of the change. Make sure that when you create the Azure resource group template from any of the Visual Studio, so make sure that you will update with the Azure latest PowerShell script commands. So that's the point number one. The secondly, I also had to use the version 5.0 to support this template. So this template is used for deploying the resources. So in fact, the latest PowerShell file is available at in the Git repo in this particular location. So this is the actual file I copied to make it work. And now I'm able to deploy this. Now let's look at what is the next topic. Understand the syntax and structure of the RM template. So let's go back into the template. The empty template, as I mentioned, coming up with these tags in it. So this JSON file will have the schema. Schema is something, let's bring the Microsoft tutorial. So this article talks about the syntax used in the RM templates. This schema is make sure that you always use the latest version. Again, when I created the template with the Visual Studio 2022, the syntax I see is with the 2015. So these are the kind of things you should be making sure that getting the latest version, even though you thought that the Visual Studio 2022 is the latest and you should expect the latest files, but that's not the case. So the purpose of this schema is it location of the Java JSON schema file that describes the version of the template language. So whatever the template language you are using, it contains that information. If you really want to see what the JSON file looks like, you can browse the JSON syntax. So that's one way. You can also look at the and make sure that here there are some instructions about the schema. If you are using the, I think this is the latest version, you should always think of using the latest version. For other editors like Visual Studio may not be able to process this schema. For those editors, use this. I think there are some instructions given for what schema need to be used for each scenario. And you will also see the current version. So you can name, you can provide any value to the current version. For this particular file, I have the 1.0.0, and then parameters in case if you want to change the parameters during the runtime, you can change, keep those parameters. Let's say I have the resource name different for each environment. So those are going to be part of the parameter file. And variables are something you can use to change the values, especially if you have the complex expressions within the JSON template. So you can create a variable and add those expressions within the variable. So I think I have some examples how to use the variable. So let me quickly bring that. So here, if you see this example, the concatenation of this parameter and the additional string, I want to store it in the variable called concat to var. Same thing with the concat to parameters. So these are the kind of scenarios where you will be using the variables. And if you want to change the values during the deployment, for each environment, those things go into the parameters. And the next one is the resources. So the actual resource script is going to be placed in the resource file. For example, if I show you how I created the VNet. So this is the parameter file. Anyway, I'm going to discuss in the next video about the VNet thing, but I'm just showing how the script will look like for each scenario. So that's about the resourcing. Now you will have functions in case if you want to create a reusable functions in the ARM templates, you can use that creating the functions, and also output values are returned after the deployment. So these are the basic syntax you will be using in when we are actually creating the ARM templates. So migrating Azure ARM to AZ, this is something we discussed about. There is a legacy version of Azure ARM commands. Those are converted into the new style. For example, new Azure ARM, you will see the new Azure VM. Okay, so that's all for this video. I will continue this journey and talk about more practical creating the Azure resources using the Visual Studio Code. That is something I can talk about in the next, when I'm creating the new resource, I will use a Visual Studio Code. I will also talk about the lock resources in the subsequent videos. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching this. Again, if you want to get more updated details about this sequence series, all the contents, you will be able to find those details in the icodeforyou.com. So you can browse the website. Thank you very much for watching this video.